filthy deep inside, beautiful woman. People are talking me down, beautiful woman. You try to tell me what's right, the road gets longer. You turn all gray into white.
Yo, guys, hey, everybody, welcome to Coast Connects. Me and Mike G and Roxanne, what's going on? Hey, before I touch on talking about diet, talk about modeling and all these different things, me and Mike G want to give a shout out to Metro Diner today for hooking us up. It was a great meal and you got us ready for this show. So Roxanne, what's up, beautiful lady? Welcome to the show.
I'm happy to be with you too. Ooh, we're gonna have a good time talking about all that we can in 30 minutes.
So where are you located right now?
I'm in Sarasota, Florida.
All right. So you survived the hurricane, and that's cool. You didn't like me. You didn't inherit a squirrel afterwards. So that's good that everything's going well. So you've been in modeling how long?
My whole life. I started when I was 3 years old. Because, well, listen to this. I was born in Hollywood, California, so that kind of helped. And my mother was in the business. And she was going on a casting, and she couldn't find a babysitter at the time, so she took me with her. And funny enough, they were looking for both a mother-daughter kind of pair for the commercial, a TV commercial, and they liked the way we interacted. And so we both got the job.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. I lived in Irvine for a while, and I know California is like a mecca, and it's a tough business because I know I did modeling for a little bit myself.
So you had a taste of it. It's cutthroat. It can be hard, but it can have a lot of perks too. I traveled the world.
Yeah, and I saw you in Vogue, and me and Mike were just talking about the different issues that you were in. So let me ask you, as you were this progression of modeling, and you talk about the challenges and everything. So what made you decide, like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make this a career? Because it's like the starving musician or the starving artist. You decided to do modeling, and in a lot of cases, it's all about who your agent is. Back in the 80s and in the early 80s and 90s, all about.
Look at you. That's nice. Oh, that's a good shot.
That's my younger years. Go ahead, Mike. Get your ass. Yeah. So as you look at your challenges, what made you decide that this is going to be a course of action or a course of a lifestyle that you wanted to pick?
It was always a dream of mine. And I started young to go professional. I thought, all right, no more playing around with school fashion shows. I want to go big time. So I was 18 and I thought I'm going to start at the top. And I'm going to go to New York, or not go. I sent a letter and pictures to the top agency in New York. Why not start with the best? And I was so excited. I thought, for sure, it's so easy. This is what I want. They'll sign me up and I'll move to New York. Well, of course, that didn't happen. And funny enough, I kept that rejection letter, which I still have to this day, you guys. Okay.
Oh, motivation is what that is. That's a motivation letter.
Yes, you got it. You got it around the head. This motivates me. And they actually said here, we do not feel you're qualified for a successful career in modeling.
Wow.
So, of course, I was devastated. But I learned from that lesson that if you have a dream and you think you're going to take a path from A to Z, but something stops you like this, you need to change your course, be flexible, be open to other opportunities, but never let your dream die. So my dream to model always stayed alive, even though that was a huge challenge and upset. Like, well, now what do I do? I'm rejected by the best. And they say in writing that I have no chance. Well, today they represent me. You persevere, you keep your dream alive. And I think your dream ultimately comes true. Just have to be open to different ways of achieving your dreams.
Oh, Mike, you got to go. I went off.
Well, I don't know, cameraman. Is that a new one you got? Sorry, but you are right, Roxanne. I mean, I'm from New York. I've seen people model. I went to a private school back in the day. It was called Barnard of Arts. It was all modeling. It was all. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It was Barnard, and it was just
yes.
Wonderful. It was on art. It made me think about its fame. It's kind of a fame school, man.
Yes.
Fame, I'm gonna live for.
Yeah, look at me. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was something. When Vince told me you were coming on the show, I was like, oh, okay. It kind of combined a little bit. I was like, okay, look at that, because you did live in New York for a while, right?
I did. I paid my dues.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I
What
was there
part?
for 2
Manhattan?
years. Pardon?
Manhattan, Lower East Side. What area?
Oh, they actually put me in a model's apartment, Upper East
Oh,
Side.
Upper East Side. Look at that. That was nice. But we lost Vince. We all right, Vince, over there?
Vince.
Okay, there we go. He's back.
Oh, good.
Hey, I can't. Hey, you know, you gotta navigate through it.
Okay, your mic's off, but it's all right.
You hear me now?
Yes.
There we go.
All right, yeah, so that's
It's
a
all
good thing about.
Well, let me
that's a good
finish
thing.
talking. Hold on. Me and Roxanne are in the zone now. So, see, we're talking about Barnard work and School of Arts and everything like that. But you know, I was reading an article. I was reading some of your briefing articles that you're still modeling, and you're like the oldest still doing it.
Second, I have the second longest running career.
Look at that. That is amazing. Are you still working with Vogue and stuff like that?
Well, I was in Vogue 3 times in, I think, 2020.
Hmm.
So that's recent.
Okay.
COVID really upset the industry, and I thought, all right, it's going to be over. But we're back in full swing. I just got back from Amsterdam, and I am probably going to Spain next week, Madrid, and it's great. Also close by, you know, Miami. So I still travel a lot, and I love it. I love
That's
it.
amazing. So, so the thing is, hold on, Vince, give me a minute. I'm just kidding. So I can imagine how much people you've met, how much friends you've met, how much connection you still have. I had to ask though. I saw your Instagram. The Lady Gaga, the picture.
Yeah.
What was that about? What happened? Did you work with her?
Mike, my head was on top of her head.
Yeah. Wow. I was like, wait, is that Gaga? What?
Yeah, it's Gaga. That was Gaga. That was an amazing job because not only is she a megastar, she is mega kind. She's so real. She's so present. She spent the whole day with us in the studio, shooting with many different people. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't need anybody, but she's so inclusive. She's genuine. I've always revered her, but now even more. She's an amazing artist of our time.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow. Very
yeah,
good.
that
Good
was
work.
a thrill for me.
Good work. Good work.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
The one again. Just the way you are. Beautiful, beautiful woman.
Yeah, I think I'm back, man. I think I'm back. We have a short time with Roxanne. So you try to get it all in.
We do. I know.
Hey, Rox, you brought up COVID, and I wanted to backtrack on that real quick because a lot of industries were impacted by it. So from the modeling standpoint, how did it impact the industry?
Well, we couldn't get shipments into America of clothing, so artists, fashion designers couldn't hold their fashion shows or do their seasonal fashion. I'm losing the word.
Runways.
Yeah, they couldn't do their collection, and that's the word. So they panicked. I couldn't travel unless I had the right vaccinations. The studios would not take in people from outside of New York. So I couldn't even travel anywhere and get in. People started to do different types of advertising then. If they couldn't do live, where they would take old photos and change the backgrounds and change the color of the garment and call it new. Or they would have influencers like me. They would ship clothes to individuals to shoot an individual piece, but that hardly cuts it when they have hundreds of pieces in just one collection 4 times a year. So it was panic mode. It was very, very difficult, but we're very creative people, and we just, like I said, go with the flow, look for different opportunities. How can we still create in this whole new world? Some companies did close. They weren't able to survive.
Wow,
so that was tragic.
Some of the people, I mean to cut you off, but some of the companies in the industry actually, I think a lot of companies went away, especially those that were just starting out. I mean, my take was there was some up and coming fashion designers, and they put all their money into everything they had.
You're right. You had the smaller ones, but then you also had the conglomerates that had to shut many retail stores because people weren't going out.
Right.
So it affected everybody. So I'm so glad it's behind us.
All right, so you've been in modeling for a long time, and so I'm gonna ask you a couple because I'm always the one with the tough questions. Mike's got the easy ones. He has the love and hug. He's a hugger in the group. So when you look at modeling and how it's evolved, right? And you've been in the industry long enough, so you got that time where you could step back and say, "Man, I remember how it was in the '80s, and I see how it is now." So, I really applaud modeling. That Paris, I saw an article 3 years ago that they were talking about women in modeling's diet. I thought that was really good that it was being addressed because even when I was 30 years in the military, we used to not really want to talk about suicides and didn't want to talk about what I call the hard stuff, mental illnesses and different things that we had in the military that eventually we had to kind of start addressing. So what's your take as you've seen the evolution of modeling? And, now the only thing I will, and I'll stop real quick, but the only thing that I will stop on is that I've struggled with when we say I'm good with all body types, but when we promote sometimes unhealthy lifestyles. And then we looked at COVID, and you think from our societal standpoint, we realized that COVID, we lost a lot of people that had pre-existing conditions or diabetes or overweight. And yet we still now kind of promote it through some of the modeling agencies and marketing. What's your take on seeing this evolution and where we're at today?
Oh, there's evolution in the industry. We realized that many practices had to change. For instance, the mental health issue you bring up, the industry realized young girls in fashion shows is not a good idea. These young 14 years old girls, 15, 16. So something was created called the Model Alliance. It was created before COVID, but it really picked up speed. And it's an alliance that helps protect young girls from some of the practices that were not made for adolescents. Like now you can't be younger than 18 to go into the fashion shows. And the Me Too movement also shined a light. Models need a privacy, some place to change their clothes. So we're growing up, just like everybody else, how to use and effectively the models to keep them healthy, to keep them well. And that's why I advocate also a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, exercise, good sleep, good rest, good food, because that also helps with mental health.
Yeah, you do. I look at your Instagram all the time where you're posting things. Hey, Mike, throw up Roxanne's website real quick, brother. And the one thing I really like is that you're touching on a lot of different platforms. So when did you realize that you, and just even in your local community, when did you realize that you were making impact on other people and you actually, because people watch you when you think they're not watching you, Roxanne. So when did you realize that you kind of had, because you had to kind of rewind and you think people aren't looking at your Instagram and then like somebody will say something, you're like, oh, you saw that? So how's your situational awareness now?
You're right.
You realize that you're more, because social media really has impacted modeling. Now that you're on social media and that the evolution of modeling, how do you think that plays into your demeanor and your approach to everything you do as a role model?
Oh, good question. What comes to mind is it's great being older because now people ask questions and really want to know the answer.
I like that.
When you're 20 and doing things and you're healthy anyway, and you look great anyway when you're in your 20s, right? And if they ask, oh, you look so good, how do you do? What's your workout program? And they don't really listen. But now in my 60s, they ask me, you look so good, what's your workout program? They've got elephant ears. This woman looks great. How does she do it? So I think that's one of the perks about being older, that they are really interested because they think they can learn some of my habits and implement them themselves, because health is a process. It's a lifestyle. It's a decision you make at some point of your life that I'm going to be healthy. And the younger people, I think the largest demographics of people that follow me are in their 30s, which I think is wonderful, so that they can implement these programs now, these tips that I have been living, and I am proof that they work, mostly a plant-based diet, and watch what you say to yourself. Where is your mind at? And yes, you have to exercise, even though you think I'm fit, I'm young, I look great, I'm strong. Your body has muscle memory and you need to program it so that when you're, 30 years later, you can still do a downward dog, without pain.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm almost 60, so I'll be 58 next year. So I definitely.
You're looking good.
I
You got some good
appreciate
habits in place, don't you?
That's it. Absolutely, and I see what's going on. So you on your website, if people want to get in contact with you, what do? They just go to your website and click on support, and do they go through your agent, or is it come like to you, or how does that work? Because I just reached out to you on Instagram, everybody, and asked her to request it, and I got, normally I thought I was going to get a bot or something crazy back, but she's like, hey Vince, I'm in.
Yeah, it's really easy to reach me. I don't know if I should say that or not, but
Not like, yeah, we're tracking, but because some people may want to reach out and ask for your advice when this airs. And then also, I love the part that you just brought up about women in their 30s, because honestly, that is the new demographic that social media is actually targeting. If you really look at the amount of 30 plus women on social media right now promoting different things, it's really become a new market as opposed to younger women modeling clothes, and I think that's just the dynamic of social media. What do you think?
It is that, and they're a very powerful group. They're going to be leading the world after us.
Yes.
Yeah, so they've got it going on, and because I work in this industry, most of the people are younger. Like I said, I'm one of the oldest ones. And so I am around young people all the time. And it's because of them asking me things about my lifestyle that they want to know my tips, and they want to know a lot. So I actually have an announcement to make.
Oh, go ahead. We're
okay.
Exclusive.
This is the first time I'm announcing it, so I'm extremely excited, and I can't believe the timing of this conversation that we have been planning for months, and it got interrupted because of the hurricane, and I don't know what.
And then my schedule got a little bit,
and your schedule got crazy, and I just can't believe that this is the day that I have the announcement and I'm talking to you. So, because so many people have been asking questions, I have an announcement that my memoir is out.
So how do they get it? Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, and it's pre-order. So it's a pre-launch, a pre-sale. It'll be ready in January.
We'll launch this before January, so we'll get it out for you.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's called More Than Just a Pretty
Really nice.
Face.
Really
And
nice.
it says lessons learned from a lifetime in front of the camera. And then this is 25 ways to become beautifully strong. So women will relate. They might think they can't relate because they're not models, but life lessons are across the board something we all relate to. And I think by sharing a story, we can support each other and learn from one another.
No, absolutely. I give it up to that. Hey, Mike G, what do you got, bro? What do you got?
So it's just women only or men too? Because I try to stay beautiful. I'm 45, but they say I look 35.
Well, what you're doing works.
Okay, look at that. Try not to stress, sleep, eat well, I guess. I gotta say, your book does look nice. I like the cut. The curve on it is nice. That's very different. Once again, everybody, exclusive.
It is for men too. Thank you so much for saying that. It is for men too. Yeah.
All right. See that?
So that was a conversation that I had with Christy Napson when her book came out and we did hers. And it said we had to start talking and have to say, look, man, everybody, here's the thing, reading is fundamental. Everybody should read it, give you a different perspective. It doesn't matter how you perceive the world. So I want to make sure that we get that out, and that link will be attached to this when we finish this up. So I'm going to make sure guys get out, order the book for January, and let's support Roxanne's. And hey, memoirs are about someone's life, and maybe you learn. Like I always tell everybody, history is about learning about some of the struggles and strengths of others, so you do better in the future.
That's all right. We learn from others. So true.
All right. So what nonprofits do you work with? Who do you support? Do you do anything that is outside, like, anything with United Way or anything? What kind of things are you doing other than modeling? Let me know.
Two things that I support are children and the natural world. So I've been a big supporter of the Audubon Society because I'm a neophyte when it comes to ornithology. And so the Audubon Society, also the Sierra Club, and then children like Feeding America and UNICEF and Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yeah,
I was a big sister, and also an organization in Africa where I pay some money and it feeds this one child for a year. So we develop a relationship, sending letters back and forth. So those are the two categories, nature and children. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So you're from California. How the heck did you get into Florida?
Oh, Vince, it's such a long story. I lived 10 years in Europe.
Whoa, hold on. We're at a year because I grew up there, so that's near dear to my heart. I just came back from Passau. I was in Passau and down in Bavaria, and then I'm going to Austria in August. So die sprechen Sie Deutsch so viel, so wie geht's, meine Damen und Herren?
Oh, ich kann verstehen dich. Ich auch
Alles klar, alles klar, prima. So where were you at and where were you living at? In Paris or Milan? Where were you at?
I was in Paris for 2 years, and then I was 8 years in Germany.
Okay, now we're at Frankfurt, or were you down in Munich?
I was in Hamburg for a little, and then
Beautiful city, Hamburg is. If anybody goes to Europe, Hamburg's beautiful, but you hands down all the way southern Bavaria, Garmisch, Innsbruck down in Austria, Switzerland, Zurich.
Yes, I live in Garmisch.
That is the hot spot to be. I love it. I mean, my second home at one point was down in Garmisch, Berchtesgaden, all the time. Eagle's Nest, Zugspitze. Yeah, I used to go skiing. Yeah, I used to go skiing on the Winkelmoos.
Oh my gosh, those are names from the past. I love it.
Oh yeah. So now that you got to Florida, how long have you been in Florida?
I've been here 5.5 years, coming from Boulder, Colorado, where I lived. I raised my children there, so they're raised, done with the snow, come to Florida, and it's very nice. I love the tropics, and it's really easy living here, as you know.
So, Mike, before we get out, Mike, what do you got, man? Before I wrap it down?
This has been a delight. This has been entertaining. I mean, it's always entertaining in our show, always. But to have you, Roxanne, I've been looking forward to it. Having somebody with a dynamic modeling background as you, and it's amazing. And hopefully we get you back on. And, we like to have recaps and stuff, but keep it going. You're doing a great job in the modeling world. You teach these young people how to do it right and how to have a longevity like you do. And it's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Feeling is mutual. Pleasure meeting you.
All right, so Roxanne, we got a couple last questions here. So first and foremost, what advice are you going to give the next generation as you wind down? So let me hear it. If you say it loud, say it proud, pretty lady.
Yes. Relax into your life. You really have no control because life is going to happen to you in ways you can't imagine. So go with the flow and accept what comes with grace, because life always throws you curveballs. So relax into it. You're meant to be just where you are. Everything happens at the perfect time. So have fun along the way. You're meant to have fun.
That's right. All right, so here we go. Since I know you modeled this long time. All right, what was your most embarrassing moment? Come on. We want to know.
Oh, I don't think I can share that, Vince.
I'm just joking. That's a good one. So, people that are about to enter it at a young age. What is a good age to enter this career before we get off here?
Oh, you late teens. I went to college and then I really started professional and in early 20s, which was late. And New York agency took a chance on me because I was, starting old. But the industry has changed, so I would recommend, finishing school, even go to college or study while you're modeling, because education is important and it helps you learn who you are. Because the industry will teach you some things, but you have to use your mind. So yeah, late teens would be good to start. Earlier than that, you don't know who you are, and it's not quite the right environment for a young child, I think.
Okay. And I agree, because I watched a couple things on the beauty pageant, so I'm right there with you on that one. So where'd you go to college?
Boulder.
Okay, Colorado. All right, good. So since Deion Sanders is heading up way now to shake up the state of Colorado, that's going to be interesting. So, yeah. All right. So, what's your favorite football team? Are you a 49er fan or are you a Bucks fan?
Well, Broncos.
She went Broncos. Oh yeah. Well, Russell Wilson in the house. Hey, Roxanne, it's been a massive pleasure. And you might put our website up real quick before we get out, because I want to put it on, and then I want you to hit the support page for it real quick. So Roxanne, so if anybody wants to get in touch with Roxanne, she's on Instagram. So what platforms are you on, Miss Lady?
Yes, I'm on Instagram every day, and my website is a great way to reach me as well.
And on YouTube, and we got your YouTube channel. So how often are you broadcasting on YouTube?
As often as I can. And I am lax in having a strict schedule because modeling has such a schedule up and down, coming and going, that it's hard for me to say every Monday I'm going to have a video. I can't do that. I'm sorry, everybody. So I post when I can, and it's not dormant. I do add to my YouTube channel as much as I can, and it's a lot of fun. Women enjoy it.
Yeah, so why aren't do you ever do any of your live shows? I mean, do you any recordings while you're overseas and from different locations? Because I think that's just like an awesome thing. Me and Mike did one when I was in Germany a couple times. So have you thought about doing any of those?
That's a good idea. I should. I'm usually so busy or jet lagged, and I focus on one thing at a time, so, and it's just me, myself, and I. So I do what I can, and I do as much as I can. So that's a good idea. I'll consider doing live when I'm over in Europe. Thank you for that, Vince.
And no worries. And so what's your favorite place to visit?
Paris. I mean, come on, right? The Hotel Crillon, the Place de la Concorde. No place like it in the world. It's so beautiful.
So, and what's your favorite Christmas present you're going to get this year?
That I'm going to give?
Yeah. What's your favorite Christmas present that you think you're going to get this year?
Oh, love from my children, not with.
And so it's been a big pleasure, and I want you to make sure you have a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year also. But Roxanne, the other thing is, do you have since you're so beautiful, I was going to hit this loaded question on you. Do you cook?
Every day.
I got to check because somebody posted something that said if you marry a 10, just get ready to go out to eat.
Oh no. I'm too good. I go in a restaurant, I think I can do better than this.
I like that. Hey, so we love you much, girl. And we're going to get
sweet.
you back on after you get back from overseas and in the new year so we can re-promote your book. So we're going to get your book out this month and promote it. Then next month in the new year, if we're going down the road, if you got time, let's do it
Definitely.
again.
I'll make time for you
Mike?
too.
What do you think, Mike?
This was so fun.
It's been great. Nice pleasure meeting you. We'll get you back on. This is nice.
I can't wait. Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure for me to be with you. An honor. Thank you.
All right. And as much as I want to say blessed and say much love to you and your family. You guys have happy holidays and stay safe. All right. We'll talk to you later. As me and Mike always say, keep it rolling.